Hello and welcome to Ula Tea Leaf Readings. My name is Lenor and tonight I'm going to be reading your tea leaves. This is a horoscope for Sagittarius. If Sagittarius is your solar, lunar, ascendant / rising sign, then this is a message for you. All right, let's get started. We have Miss TT in the house over here, right behind me. Okay. Let's see, what do these tea leaves have to say tonight? Oh my goodness, my light is all kind of out of place. I was cleaning the floors today. And of course, I did not put it back where it needs to go. Okay. Let's see what we have. What do we have? And our card tonight is one of my favorites as a Virgo. The Queen of Discs. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. Okay. Okay, there we go. There we go. That's where you need it to be. Okay, let's see what we have going on. Come on, little mama. You gotta get down. She likes to sit on my shoulder like a parrot. And I've heard that she's been in Paul's videos a lot. Shout out to Devin Serpentero. And she has been having a lot of cameos. All right, let's see. Yes, hello. All right, let me start here, TT. Okay, so we have a person that looks like they are maybe digging or using, what are those things called, jackhammers? Maybe this is too small. But I imagine in the garden, in the soil, you know, somewhere outside, doing some kind of digging, some kind of work. And really what this is a symbol relating to, in my mind, with the Queen of Discs, is that you are in a period of being very practical. You're usually a resourceful person, but right now you are all about working hard. You're working hard to kind of build that bread, make some money maybe, you know, kind of put something aside if you can. We're at that time of year where, you know, if you're going into winter, fall in the north, or spring in the south, you know, it's a time when we become acutely aware that we must prepare for this cycle of, you know, of winter and summer that will be coming up. Nothing is more expensive than winter and summer. And so I think that, you know, you are, you're very conscious of what you're doing. You're working hard. You're staying singularly focused on this work at hand. Really getting in there, tilling those soils, making it, you know, nice and fertile for whatever it is you are looking to manifest. And we are coming into the season of harvest or sowing seeds, depending north or south. And this is a time of manifesting, right? Abundance, you know, all of our well-wishing. And, you know, if you've had a wonderful harvest, you're happy, you're elated. If it's been a tough year, it's hard. It's hard to face those dark months this way. So we scramble, you know, we start to scramble to get a little something together. You know, life it just goes so quickly. The holidays are coming soon, and I know we all start to feel the pressure. You know, not to bum you out, because this is actually, I think, a really happy reading, because I feel like, Sagittarius, this year has not been easy for you. You've had some challenges, but more than any other time in your life, I think that you have shown yourself time and again that you're strong. I mean, you really, you know, people maybe think that you're kind of a, you know, a pushover, or because you kind of choose your words really carefully. You don't expend energy, at least emotional energy, where it's not necessary. And maybe in your private life, yeah, you hurt and you cry and whatever, but you don't always show that to other people. And so I think that, you know, people sometimes think that you are somebody, not necessarily who can be taken advantage of, but they aren't always as thoughtful, I think, because they either think you're very resilient, or that you kind of just maybe are a little bit aloof about things. And the reality is, this last year, you have really shown up for yourself. You have been very proactive about, you know, standing up for yourself, advocating for yourself, making tough decisions so that you can get to where you want to go. And this makes sense to me, that you are in this beautiful place of this kind of very earthy queen, making, you know, big strides forward, maybe financially, you know, maybe in other kinds of resources, and, you know, acquiring the things that, not just what you need, but some of the things that you maybe want as well. And that's, you know, that's a big change from probably even like just last year. I feel like, you know, if this has just kind of been that time where you're just not going to put up with things anymore. Okay, now we have, it looks like a deer with a large horn, antler. And it looks like it's been struck by an arrow. Okay, and so I feel in your more sacred spaces, spiritually, emotionally, maybe within the realm of religious or belief systems, you've definitely, I think, been kind of maybe practicing some kind of spiritualism, or, you know, wellness. You know, maybe religion, I don't know. But I do believe that you have found some fondness there. Maybe even a kind of love. Is this romantic love? I think that this is either like a romantic hope, or this is kind of a very spiritual kind of love, something like agape. I feel like I can see you, you know, maybe spending time meditating, kind of relaxed down into postures, you know, some kind of yogic, tantric process. But I feel like your heart is open, and there is a sense of being quite in love with the universe, with your environment, I think you are acutely aware of your surroundings more so than usual. I think that you're in this mindset of stopping and smelling the flowers, you know, of looking at little things, little details, you know, just noticing things and being present. And I think that this has kind of really opened up this place to be, you know, taken by a sense of almost, you know, a love, like love, amour, but kind of almost like an enchantment, I would say, maybe on the verge of being ecstatic. But I feel like so often in life we hear about people who they're very devoted, right, to the process of their belief system. But when you see that the way that they kind of treat others, the way that they live their life, the way that they are outside of their religious or spiritual routine, when they're in their day-to-day life, it makes you wonder what kind of love it is that they have, right? And then there are people that you meet who maybe speak very little of their relationship to God or the divine, or, you know, whatever it is, but there is this kind of otherworldly serenity, grace, blissfulness. It doesn't, but it doesn't have to be blissful. I absolutely will not push the narrative that any kind of spiritual path is mostly bliss, because I don't know that one. I think that there are definitely moments of it, but I will not say that it's all that. But you know, you've met people, I'm sure, or you've seen them, you know, in some kind of media or whatever, where it's just kind of so obvious that they're living a whole other life that we're not seeing, and it is not earthly, and they are entangled with the divine. They are probably in union with the divine. They are married to the divine. And I feel like when you have witnessed people like this, there is this kind of yearning that you have. You want something like that. Okay? You're maybe not as interested in earthly relationships, or you know, only interested in aligning with people who have the same kind of desire to connect with this universal love. And so I wonder if you've kind of met somebody like that, or if you are just very much in your love centers lately. And so the arrow, obviously the Eros, or Cupid, right, struck by that loving that loving arrow, and we have a heart up here. And so let's see what else. I really, you know, I really see you working so hard. And this is the interesting thing too, is that I'm also seeing a temple, and out here I see kind of, you know, little, here's a person, and this maybe is an animal here, but it looks like almost like the fields around a temple, and people at work, and you know, working the land and taking care of this sacred, consecrated ground. And so And this one actually looks like somebody kind of bending over to touch the soil. And so I feel that through your work, through your deeply spiritual, let's see, what is it? Your deeply spiritual love affair. Is that the right word? Maybe not. Deeply spiritual. I don't know. I'm thinking of something very enthralling, all, all consuming. But here's the interesting thing, is that I think usually we would separate these two things. There would be a time for the work, and then we put down the work, and then we go to, our spiritual place. We then have our time to go within ourselves and to be with that beloved. Well, I think that you weave it right through every aspect of your life. You have found either a career path that really promotes your practices, or you just really apply your practices to your work. And I think that's a beautiful thing. I feel like, so often we live in a world where, rightfully so, we shouldn't always make others, witness our beliefs, or whatever. I'm not going to go down that path of thinking and ranting, but I do think that there are ways that we can weave it into everything that we do, and these are things like kindness, being of service, gratitude, praying, wishing people well. We don't have to tell them that we're doing so necessarily, unless, well, yes. And I think that, you just get to a stage in your, maybe in your journey, where you realize not everything has to be compartmentalized in life. We like to do that. It's, it makes things feel less messy, I think. But I do think that being able to find a way to have these moments throughout our day. And I see this so much in, all of the Queen cards, but the Queen of Discs is interesting because I feel very much that it's very contemplative, of course, but really there's such a richness in body and soul there. There is very much a connection to that as above, so below, so within, so without. This is a person who is very self-realized, walks in their truth, okay, is, full of the beautiful, fertile energies, creativities, not unlike how you are with being careful with your words, very thoughtful about where energies are spent, shared, who you allow close to you, but at the same time, very much a healer. Kind of almost, you can imagine, the Queen. I think of the Queen of Discs off. When I see the card, this is my kind of relationship, is I think of a person who has this beautiful soil, and somebody is ailing, or they're heart sick, or whatever it is, and they bring to the Queen an object, okay, kind of a totem, or some kind of sympathetic kind of symbol of whatever is going on with them. And the Queen, she takes it from their hand lovingly, knowingly, with wisdom, and she opens the soil and she plants that thing in there and she covers it up, and there it will stay until it has healed, until it has become whole again. And not only has it become whole again, it begins to grow, right? It will then emerge all by itself. And so, you know, I feel like this is something that you have done with yourself. I feel like you have this ability probably with others. You know, have you found that yet? I don't know, but I know that you are full of good intentions. I also know that you are looking to create stability and something lasting. Okay, where you must be careful is when you get frustrated. Okay, and to remember, not everybody shares the same energy as you. Not everybody can read your mind. You have to communicate clearly what you want, what you need, what are your boundaries, what are you asking for, what are you telling. Not these kinds of passive, you know, oh, if they notice, then they care about me, or, you know, if they care about me, they'll know exactly what I need. Don't live like that. Don't live like that. Don't do it. You're going to break your own heart over and over and over again. Okay? You say what you mean what you say, right? And it, you know, and if somebody is unwilling to give you what you want, what you need, or vice versa, you cannot give them what you want or what you need, that's okay. That's life. And then you make a decision. Is this the right thing for me? You know. But you have a lot of ambition. You're very, you know, you're very full of all of the things that you need. They're all within you. You just need to mind yourself, right? Stay the course. Stay working on your things. Okay. I'm going to take a look down here. Woo! Take a look down here. Okay, so we have a person who is walking a dog here. You can kind of see. It's a little person. There's a little dog. So I feel like you kind of have a guard dog. And I feel like that's maybe kind of just your intuition, instinct. And it almost feels like, oddly, sometimes I get these things where I'm just like, it's very specific. It almost feels like there is maybe a neighbor or somebody who you don't necessarily know, but you've seen them around, right? You maybe say hello. Anyways, I feel like almost they're having like trouble with their child, maybe. Some kind of, I don't know, maybe they have young kids. They're loud, they're rambunctious, they, you know, are always stressed about this. Or maybe they have an older child who, you know, has behavioral problems or whatever. And I just feel like if you give them a little kindness, it would go a long way. And I don't mean to get involved or anything like that, but just a hello, a nice, how are you doing? You know, something like this. It seems like somebody maybe who is struggling. Maybe you work with this person, I don't know, but, and you know, this time of year is hard for a lot of parents. And maybe you yourself are a parent and you know this, that I don't know about this. I have to look this up, but I don't know if kids in the southern hemisphere are like getting out of school now, but in the in the northern hemisphere, a lot of kids are going back to school. So it's a difficult time. A lot of a lot of children that do not want to get out of that summer mode. A lot of parents who are struggling. So, you know, I think just a little bit of extra kindness would be really, really kind of your sweet blessing to the world. Okay, let me go ahead and say, oh no, that's the next part. This is our this is our Wild Bohemian affirmation card deck here that we are going to take a look at. I love these cards so much. You should, it says they're from rockpoolpublishing.com. So you can totally, and I'll just put that right there so you can see. But you can totally go get these yourself. I think they're beautiful. There's all 4 elements. I really like them so much. Actually, I'm going to go and look and see if they've made any other decks. Because I like them. And I like how little they are. They're really cool. I like these little cute cards. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead and kind of go through there. Did I just do this one? Yes, that's all right. Okay. I have come. Your path is present. Force is never required. Softness leads to strength and beauty. Yeah, I think that is applicable. Although I feel, not that there's force, but I feel like you have a lot of stamina, forward movement. But I do also think there is a softness and a strength and a beauty. And I think this is, you know, very much related to, you know, being kind to others right now, giving them some of your love. You are affectionate and kind and very charming, I'm sure. So, you know, kind of giving some blessings of just nice, light energy. I'm always that person that will like go out of my way to tell a mom that has like, you know, 3 or 4 screaming kids in the grocery store, and I'll say like, oh, you have a beautiful family. You're doing such a great job. And I'm sure that for some, like in some people, they would be like, okay, are they being rude? But I'm also a mom with a toddler, so they're like, yeah, you know, it's a lot. You know, it's always nice to give somebody a little bit of support. We need to do that more with one another, really. Just a little kind word. All right. I'm going to go ahead and say thank you so much for spending this time with me. It is always such an honor. If you'd be so kind as to like the video, it helps us get into the algorithm, and that helps us grow the channel ultimately. The algorithm really likes the engagement. So if you'd like to support the channel by liking the video, watching the readings from the beginning to the end, sharing the link on other platforms, social media platforms. Of course, you don't have to do any of these things, but I like to mention them just in case you don't know. What else? Oh, and if you haven't subscribed yet, please think about doing that. I don't want you to miss any videos. So hit the little bell, and that will let you know when the next ones are coming out. Also, we'd just love to have you here at the community. So if you want to leave a comment, please do. I read all of them, and I reply back to all of them. So it takes me a day or two sometimes to get through all of those. But I really do appreciate all the love, support, and kind words that you have for one another. I mean, for me as well. I love that. Don't get me wrong. I love a nice encouragement. But I really love seeing you all being loving and kind to one another as well. That always makes my day. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and thank you again, and we will talk in just a few days.